Streaming has become a wild treasure hunt today, and Tubi quietly holds some of the rarest classics you can still watch for free. These films are overlooked, forgotten, and hidden in plain sight, waiting for new eyes. From lost noir shadows to groundbreaking dramas, these titles carry the weight of decades. Here are 13 rare classics on Tubi right now, so do not miss them. Number 13. Midnight Cowboy, 1969. Midnight Cowboy stands as one of the boldest films ever made a raw journey through grit, loneliness, and fractured ambition. It remains the only X-rated film to ever win Best Picture, a shocking achievement that still stuns modern audiences. The story follows a naive dreamer drifting into a world that devours innocence, and yet the film wraps this darkness in piercing emotional truth. Watching it today on Tubi feels like stepping into a time capsule of fearless American filmmaking where rules were broken and boundaries dissolved. Jon Voight and Dustin Hoffman deliver performances that burn with desperation and authenticity, capturing a generation wrestling with identity, failure, and survival. Every street corner, every dimly lit room, and every defeated glance tells a story larger than the plot itself. Midnight Cowboy is not simply a film, it is a bruised portrait of a shifting nation and a rare example of Hollywood daring to expose its underbelly without apology. For viewers seeking rare, powerful drama or a classic that continues to evolve with time, this is an unmissable free gem. Number 12. In the Heat of the Night, 1967. In the Heat of the Night is a landmark thriller that blends tension, social commentary, and powerful character work into one unforgettable experience. This film defined a moment in American history, using its narrative to confront deep-rooted prejudice while delivering the kind of suspense that still grips audiences today. Watching it free on Tubi reveals just how relevant and intricately crafted it remains. Sidney Poitier commands the screen with unmatched dignity as a northern detective trapped in a hostile southern town. His presence elevates every scene, shaping the film into both a mystery and a moral reckoning. Rod Steiger provides equally strong counterbalance, creating a dynamic that pushes the story beyond procedural structure into something larger and more human. The cinematography, the stillness, and the escalating tension give the film a documentary-like realism rare for its era. In the Heat of the Night is not simply a crime story, it is a cultural pivot point preserved on Tubi for new generations to witness. It is a rare classic that deserves uninterrupted attention and deep reflection. Number 11. The Gunfighter, 1950. The Gunfighter is one of the most overlooked Western masterpieces, a film that strips away glamour to reveal the quiet tragedy behind a gunslinger's legend. Gregory Peck delivers one of his finest performances, portraying a weary man, trapped by the very myth that made him famous. This rare classic, available free on Tubi, unfolds with stark realism and emotional restraint. Instead of focusing on shootouts, the film digs into the psychological burden of notoriety, how a reputation can become both shield and prison. Peck embodies this conflict with every measured step and haunted look, offering a Western experience built not on spectacle, but on introspection. The small town setting, tight faces, and quiet pauses create a sense of inevitability, as if fate is closing in with every minute. It is a Western that feels modern despite being decades old because it challenges the genre rather than celebrating it. The Gunfighter stands as a rare gem that reshaped the Western without loud fanfare, and for that reason, it remains a must-watch. Tubi gives viewers a chance to rediscover this understated masterpiece and its quiet, timeless power. Number 10. The Third Man, 1949. The Third Man is a haunting noir that unfolds like a shadowed riddle, set in a fractured post-war world where trust dissolves and every alley hides a secret. Watching it free on Tubi today feels like stepping into a forgotten universe where moral certainty has collapsed and the ruins of Vienna echo with deception. This film is celebrated for its striking cinematography, stark angles, and eerie compositions, yet its power goes far beyond visual style. At its core is the story of a man chasing truth only to discover that truth is rarely clean, simple, or comforting. Every step he takes pulls him deeper into a maze of betrayal and broken ideals, and the city itself becomes a breathing character, shaping his journey. Then comes the unforgettable entrance of Orson Welles, delivering one of the most iconic reveals in cinema history. His presence transforms the entire film, turning a simple mystery into a philosophical confrontation about loyalty, corruption, and the price of survival. The zither score creates a dreamlike, unsteady mood that lingers long after the final scene. The Third Man is not just a rare classic, it is a cinematic ghost drifting through time, offering a glimpse at humanity at its most fragile and conflicted. Finding a masterpiece like this free on Tubi feels almost unreal, and it is essential viewing for anyone who wants to understand the evolution of noir storytelling. Number 9. My Man Godfrey, 1936. My Man Godfrey is a sparkling screwball comedy that hides razor-sharp social satire beneath its frantic humor and glamorous surfaces. It feels as fresh today as it did during the Depression era, and Tubi offers a priceless chance to experience this rare gem without barriers. The film begins with a simple premise. A wealthy family hires a forgotten man from the streets as their butler. Yet what unfolds is a poignant study of class identity and human dignity, wrapped in rapid-fire humor. William Powell brings warmth, intelligence, and sly wit to the role, creating a character who elevates everyone around him, even those who do not deserve it. Carole Lombard delivers a performance that glows with unpredictable energy, pushing the film into emotional territory that surprises viewers expecting light comedy. Beneath the jokes lies a powerful message about compassion and the illusion of social hierarchy. What makes this film rare is its ability to blend heartfelt meaning with comedic chaos without losing balance. Its rhythm, its characters, and its clever commentary remain unmatched in the genre. Watching My Man Godfrey today on Tubi is like discovering a lost voice from the past, one that still speaks directly to modern audiences. It is not only a classic, but a reminder that kindness can be revolutionary and humor can expose truths that drama cannot. Number 8. The Philadelphia Story, 1940. The Philadelphia Story stands as one of the most elegant romantic comedies ever crafted, a film that blends high society glamour with biting insight into pride, vulnerability, and second chances. Seeing it free on Tubi feels like opening a time-locked portal into a world of crisp dialogue, graceful performances, and emotional revelations. At the heart of the film is Katharine Hepburn, delivering a career-defining portrayal of a woman forced to confront the image she has built versus the person she truly is. Her character begins as untouchable and self-assured, yet the story gradually chips away at that polished exterior, revealing fears, hopes, and desires she has never admitted even to herself. Cary Grant and James Stewart then create an unforgettable triangle full of wit, tension, and unexpected tenderness. Their presence adds layers to the film, transforming it from a simple romantic farce into a study of human fragility. Every scene unfolds with rhythm and purpose, as misunderstandings unravel, egos collapse, and emotional clarity rises above social expectation. What makes this film rare is its refusal to settle for easy sentiment. Instead, it presents love as messy, imperfect, and deeply human. The Philadelphia Story remains timeless because it understands that people are never as flawless or as broken as they seem. Tubi offers the perfect chance to revisit or discover this masterpiece and witness a level of storytelling that feels both classic and startlingly modern. Number 7. Talk of the Town, 1942. Talk of the Town is one of the most unusual and overlooked classics of the 40s, a film that shifts between comedy, drama, and moral commentary with surprising ease. Watching it today on Tubi feels like uncovering a rare cinematic artifact, one that was ahead of its time in both tone and message. The story begins with a man accused of arson and murder who seeks refuge in the home of a school teacher, only to find that her guest, a respected legal scholar, has already arrived. From this point, the film becomes a layered exploration of justice, truth, and the unpredictable human heart. What separates this film from others of its era is its refusal to take a simple path. Instead, it blends lighthearted banter with serious philosophical inquiry, raising questions about punishment, responsibility, and the very foundation of law. Cary Grant reveals a vulnerable and conflicted side rarely seen in his more iconic roles. His character's fear, determination, and sense of injustice create a dramatic core that keeps viewers emotionally engaged. Jean Arthur brings warmth, strength, and subtle humor to the story, grounding each moment with sincerity. Ronald Colman delivers a performance of quiet authority, offering a voice of rationality in a world shaking with confusion. The three together create a dynamic that drives the narrative far beyond traditional genre boundaries. The film tackles themes that remain relevant today, including the danger of mob mentality, the fragility of reputation, and the way legal principles shift under emotional pressure. Watching it free on Tubi is a reminder that forgotten films can carry enormous cultural weight. Talk of the Town stands as a rare fusion of intellect, heart, and suspense, unmatched by later imitators. Number 6. Support Your Local Sheriff, 1969. Support Your Local Sheriff might look like a simple Western spoof on the surface, but beneath the humor lies a surprisingly clever and heartfelt tribute to the genre itself. Finding it free on Tubi feels like stumbling across a lost treasure once beloved and now rediscovered by audiences hungry for charm and wit. The film stars James Garner as an easygoing wanderer who becomes sheriff almost by accident, yet the character carries both self-awareness and underlying wisdom that elevate the comedic premise. What makes this film rare is its ability to poke fun at Western tropes while still embracing their emotional power. It walks a delicate line between parody and homage, and in doing so reveals truths about heroism, violence, and frontier mythology. Each character adds depth through exaggerated quirks and hidden layers, revealing a town shaped by fear, pride, and desperation. Garner moves through the story with calm humor and subtle authority, guiding the unpredictable community toward order while exposing the absurdity of conflict. The film also uses silence timing and unexpected sincerity to craft humor that never feels forced. Rather than relying on slapstick, it builds comedy from interactions, character flaws, and the gap between expectation and reality. Support Your Local Sheriff stands out as a rare example of how parody can enrich instead of undermine the genres it imitates. Today, the film feels even more significant because it captures the fading spirit of the Western, just as Hollywood began to move away from classic frontier storytelling. Tubi gives viewers a chance to experience this lighthearted, thoughtful, and deeply entertaining gem that still resonates with modern audiences. Number 5. Dead Man, 1995. Dead Man is one of the most singular films of the 90s, a surreal Western that abandons tradition in favor of poetry, mysticism, and dreamlike violence. Watching it free on Tubi today offers viewers a chance to encounter a work that defies categorization. Directed by Jim Jarmusch, the film follows a man whose accidental descent into outlaw status becomes a symbolic journey through the death of the American frontier. Shot in stark black and white, its images feel carved from smoke and memory, creating a world where reality dissolves into myth. Johnny Depp delivers one of his quietest and most introspective performances, portraying a character trapped between life and death, drifting deeper into spiritual territory with each passing moment. What makes Dead Man rare is its fearless rejection of narrative convention. Instead of delivering a linear story, it guides viewers through a series of encounters with outcasts, dreamers, killers, and wandering souls, each representing a thread of America's fractured identity. The soundtrack by Neil Young adds raw emotional texture, every note echoing like a distant storm across abandoned plains. The film is violent, lyrical, strange, and strangely peaceful, asking viewers to reflect on the nature of destiny, violence, and cultural decay. Dead Man is not simply a movie. It is an experience, a meditation carved into the landscape of cinema. Tubi makes this masterpiece accessible again, allowing new generations to connect with its haunting philosophical spirit. This is a film that stays with you long after the screen fades, leaving questions, whispers, and a lingering sense that you witnessed something both ancient and modern. Number 4. The Changeling, 1980. The Changeling is one of the greatest haunted house films ever created yet. It remains strangely underseen, making its presence on Tubi feel like discovering a forgotten ghost locked away for decades. This is not a film of cheap shocks or loud effects. Instead, it builds dread through silence, atmosphere, and the slow, suffocating weight of grief. George C. Scott delivers a towering performance as a man seeking escape from tragedy, only to find that the mansion he inhabits carries a deeper, older sorrow waiting to be uncovered. What sets The Changeling apart from other supernatural films is its emotional foundation. The haunting is not random, but rooted in injustice history and a secret buried beneath decades of lies. Every creaking floorboard, every rolling ball, every distant echo works to tighten the film's grip as the past forces itself into the present. The mansion is more than a location. It is a character with memories, sadness, and fury. As the story unfolds, the horror grows not from gore but from revelation. The Changeling is a masterclass in controlled tension, a movie that respects its audience and rewards patient attention. Watching it free on Tubi is a privilege because this film deserves far more recognition than it has received. It proves that true horror does not rely on spectacle. It relies on truth loss and the ghosts we create when justice is denied. Number 3. Dirty, Rotten Scoundrels, 1988. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is a delightfully wicked comedy that blends clever twists, sharp character work, and a playful sense of mischief that still feels fresh. Many viewers forget just how smart this film is, or how rare its tone has become. Watching it on Tubi feels like stepping back into an era when comedies dared to be intelligent, when jokes grew from character, not from noise, and when charm mattered as much as plot. The story follows two con artists competing for dominance, but the film's true magic lies in how it constantly subverts expectation. Just when you think you know the direction, it pulls the rug, leaving you laughing and genuinely surprised. Steve Martin delivers one of his most physical and unpredictable comedic performances, while Michael Caine brings elegance and dry brilliance to every scene. Their chemistry forms the backbone of the film, shaping each con into a miniature narrative full of momentum and discovery. What makes Dirty Rotten Scoundrels a rare classic is its balance of sophistication and silliness, a combination that feels almost extinct in modern cinema. The setting, the pacing, the character interactions all contribute to a world where deception becomes art and laughter becomes a form of storytelling. Tubi offers viewers a chance to revisit this gem and appreciate how effortlessly it blends craft and chaos. It is a reminder that comedy can be both smart and wildly entertaining when handled by masters. Number 2. Mississippi Burning, 1988. Mississippi Burning is a searing historical drama that tackles one of the darkest chapters in American history through a lens of tension, urgency, and moral conflict. Finding it free on Tubi ensures that new viewers can confront this powerful story without barriers, because its message remains as vital today as when it premiered. The film explores the brutal civil rights era through an investigation into racially motivated violence, yet it goes far beyond the structure of a crime story. It becomes a portrait of fear, hatred, courage, and the battle between silence and truth. Gene Hackman and Willem Dafoe deliver performances of extraordinary intensity, giving the narrative a human core that trembles with conviction and frustration. The town's fear becomes a fog that hangs over every frame, shaping conversations, glances, and threats. Mississippi Burning forces viewers to face uncomfortable realities, the kind that still echo across generations. It reveals how institutions can become corrupted by silence, how justice can be delayed by complicity, and how bravery often emerges from unlikely places. Unlike many historical films, this one never feels distant. Its images and emotional pressure remain raw, immediate, and unsettling. Watching it on Tubi gives viewers a chance to reconnect with a film that demands engagement. Mississippi Burning is more than a movie. It is a warning, a memory, and a mirror held up to the past. Number 1. Stalag 17, 1953. Stalag 17 is one of the most gripping and emotionally tense war dramas ever filmed yet. It is rarely discussed today, making its presence on Tubi feel like a rediscovered treasure. This film takes place inside a German prisoner of war camp during World War II, but instead of relying on action scenes, it focuses on suspicion, loyalty, betrayal, and the psychological battles fought behind the barbed wire. At the center of the story is a cynical, fast-talking American prisoner who becomes the prime suspect when the men start believing there is an informant inside their ranks. What unfolds is part mystery, part survival story, and part exploration of how fear can tear communities apart. The film's pacing is remarkable, shifting between dark humor, grim tension, and sudden bursts of revelation. William Holden delivers a performance of absolute mastery, capturing the complicated layers of a man who hides vulnerability beneath sarcasm and defiance. Each moment builds toward a climax that still stands as one of the finest sequences in war cinema. Stalag 17 shows how pressure exposes character and how hope can survive even in the coldest corners of conflict. Watching it free on Tubi gives audiences the chance to experience a film that shaped the foundation of prisoner of war storytelling long before modern thrillers attempted similar narratives. It is a rare classic that deserves renewed attention because it reveals courage not through spectacle, but through resilience, intelligence, and human spirit. Tubi holds treasures most viewers never notice, and these rare classics prove that great cinema never fades. Each film carries history, emotion, and truth waiting for someone to rediscover it. Explore these titles, share your favorites, and keep the spirit of forgotten masterpieces alive. Your next great discovery is already streaming.